Hey guys, my name is Simpzy, how you all doing? Welcome back to some more Total War Rome 2, here today on the channel, back with episode 14 of my DEI Divide Et Impera Spartan campaign. In today's video, we're going to be declaring war upon the Dacians and eliminating the Getae, taking the entire province. If you haven't gone and seen the last episode, highly recommend you do. We managed to get rid of the Armenians and the Seleucids before that, and we're nearly at a stage where I'm calm and confident enough. I think we've got enough armies to declare war upon the Roman Empire, which has all of North Africa, Italy, and a little bit of Iberia under their control. So back to war with the Dacia. We had a short war against them. They managed to take, I don't know, it was some like far Croatian territory or whatever. We had to declare war upon them technically, and they fled back to their capital in Dacia. But I want to take the entire province, so we've got a little bit of a sort of score to settle against them. The rest of my armies, about 8 or so in the east, will have them heading back to Greece, and these 3 armies here can deal with Axum. We want to try and get that gold mine, and I think what we'll do is we'll hit Rome with a couple pronged attack. So once we get to full strength, we can hold about 16 armies, 15 or so. The Romans, I don't know how many they have. Last time I saw, they had about 8 or 10. So it should be a good one. They broke their military alliance with us. So we'll just have to see how we go. We might be able to get it back again with them, just so we can move throughout their territory. But if not, we're going to have to launch an attack from our own provinces. We do actually border them in quite a few interesting areas, like in Syracuse and in Massalia. But anyway, what we'll do now is we'll trespass against the Getae, and we'll move into striking range against them, and that will be the war and battle for today's video. Okay, welcome to the top of the turn. It is currently winter 255 BC, and I'm starting to move my military forces from the east back to Greece, and that means we're going to be able to get thorax and ethnic Spartan swordsmen, and we'll be able to get more basically Greeks from the peninsula back in. We might even get some men from Epirus, maybe even some Athenians as well, instead of dealing with far Greek colonies and essentially units from Egypt and the Crimea and whatnot. Okay, so I'm going to get my spy to attack Dacia and Malva. We'll try and sabotage the supplies just to weaken them up. Unfortunately, we failed straight up. Great. So it's now spring 245. So what I'll do is I'll declare war upon Dacia now. So if we can bypass the full stack and the garrison inside, it'll put us in a better favour. So we'll attack this, block that off. We'll try and move our guys into a better position, and then we'll have a good fight against the barbarians, hopefully. No, they're not going to stand and fight, so we're going to have to chase them a bit. Okay, who can come out and supply and help? Maybe no one. We might have to send one army just to deal with it itself. Okay, so we tried to turn it to a 1v1. That's probably not possible. I'm just trying to think if we should play this one. I guess you got to risk it. Let's do it. Let's fight this one on the field. So they actually outnumber us by about 900. So looking at my army build, it's a little bit interesting. So we've got Periodically Hoplites, the Spartan bodyguard unit. We've actually got 5 barbarian units, technically 6. We do have some slingers and some barbarian archers as well. It's a nice green battlefield in Dacia. So this should be a good fight. We're actually not favoured to win, so hopefully we can prove the balance of power wrong. So what I'll do is I'll basically put my pikes up, and we'll chuck a phalanx on, and then we'll be able to use these very heavy melee barbarians against them. I guess they were from the other provinces in Dacia that I conquered. Maybe they have a bit of a blood feud and maybe some of their own score to settle against the Dacians. So we'll sit back and we'll see how the AI reacts. We've got 2 strong front lines here, and here is the Spartan bodyguard, of course. So once we've defeated Dacia, I don't really feel too much of a threat from the Germanians and a couple of the other barbarians. So then look like he burnt his hand there. The general with the burnt hand. Black Hand, we'll call him. That's cool. So here are those Gallic warriors I was talking about, those barbs. And then we've got the Periodical pikes at the front. So let's sort of see how they react. They probably have skirmisher supremacy over me. you'd think. But these Dacians are hearty and strong folk. They will have fantastic swordsmen and shields. Maybe even rivaling some of the Roman units at this time. Oh, he's got like a curved blade there. That looks cool. So, this is going to be a harder proposition than fighting the Seleucids and the Armenians. Every single faction has their strengths and bonuses. And you just got to be mindful going into every single battle to do so. So what we'll do, they don't seem to be wanting to move. So I'm going to move up my pikes. And we'll keep my melee infantry closer. The sword infantry. So what we'll try and do, if we could encourage the AI to throw all of their mass at the front line, and we might be able to try and pivot and flank with the swordsman. That would be ideal. We'll try and accumulate the mass. If anyone gets that reference, I'd be surprised. Anyway, let's move up. Accumulating mass. What are you doing? I'm accumulating mass, man. Anyway, let's move these skirmishers up. They don't have the best range because they're like slinger slash dart throwers or whatever they're called. So we'll just sort of see what sort of happens. Oh, we've got some deer and a doe and some nice bucks going overall. Okay. That's a nice looking buck. Eustace. That's a 9-pound buck. Anyway. Okay, so we're still not quite in range, which is annoying. Gotta give it to the Dacians. They are being slightly stubborn. Not moving. Now, we can't actually see their entire army. I think there's a lot of it in that forest there that we can't see, which is a little bit deceiving. Okay, so now they actually have range on us. They're starting to rotate and move a bit. Yeah, so... Okay, they're actually going to overlap us on the left, which is annoying. We might have to move my units in a moment. It just depends if they're going to fully commit and charge and try and flank. So... Some skirmisher fire has now been traded. The Dacians actually got the jump on us and got the first couple of initial volleys off. So we'll try and trade with them. Phalanx position, we're going to be able to hide behind our shields a bit and tank a couple of that fire. We're just going to have to keep an eye on, like, is this more beneficial for them or us to trade back and forth? Only time will tell once we sort of see some of the initial losses. But so far, the Spartans and the Dacians are keen to trade skirmisher fire. They do outnumber us, so us losing more men will be harsher than them. We could very well do the strat of just getting all the skirmishers to hit one unit to stop them firing. Okay, now they're actually moving now that we've moved up. Okay, move back. Okay, just going over the front line might have just baited them in, which is okay. Might have lost a bit in the process, but it's okay if they actually want to charge. Whoa, that's a decent volley. This is going to be a tough fight. Okay, so going forward actually has worked to our advantage because we've managed to encourage some lighter units wanting to charge against the phalanx, which plays just bang smack into our hands. So hold on, men, hold the line against the barbarian tide. We haven't fought too many barbarians in this series, thankfully, because they have had a recent update and buff in DEI. But at the end of the day, it's pretty hard to beat some of the core main factions in the game as a human, when the human player controls them. Rome, Sparta, Athens, Egypt and the Seleucids are some of the best factions in the game. Okay, so we've encouraged 2 on, which is brilliant, but we're still skirmishing, which is interesting. I might try and diversify some of my firing patterns. Yeah, so even they're going into shield wall, or whatever their phalanx equivalent is. I'd imagine it's shield wall. I don't know exactly. Still quite close. Either side might be able to claim victory. But let's just try and get some different shots up. They're slightly turning for whatever reason. We're holding quite firm. They're slowly but surely moving up some more reinforcements, keeping it a low defensive block. And they're intertwining some of their archers with their shields, which is interesting. Probably protecting them, giving a bit of protection from the front. They're committing a third unit up here. It's interesting that they've gone with the strategy of only moving a couple at a time. We might actually be able to hit these because we might be able to open up an angle on them. They seem to be moving out a bit. They're a heavy phalanx infantry, really. Looking at them from the naked eye, it looks like they were more swordsmen. Okay, so it looks like they've made the decision now that they can't break through. They've lost about 50 units there, they're going to fall back. It's a bit hard to tell who is exactly winning. Are we winning, sir? What do you think? Maybe. Well, if in doubt, charge. Let's go. Okay, they're reforming up, but they're giving us some decent angles. Dude, these blokes are just holding so hard. Kind of wish we had a bit more better quality skirmishes in this build. It's just how the cookie crumbles, eh? Some of those... We had 4 armies we could have used in this. Now they're turning. We should better rip through them now. Yeah, look at that. As they've got their back behind us, they're just going to fall. It's even the general unit, I think. I guess they charged up, thought they could go through, and they calculated that they couldn't break through the phalanx, so they want to move back. Now with their back turned, they're just getting absolutely rinsed. That could be the general unit gone. We're nearly out of ammunition with them. Yeah, we could have fought with... yeah, there's the enemy general. Far out. Alright, so that's definitely swung up massively back into our favour. They're going to get a huge morale loss from there. Why did they do that? They're probably going to be able to just, like, charge soon. We'll move these guys back. Yeah. Just as we moved into Dacia, as the army moved about and ran, there was only one that really could have attacked this and gave chase, so we had to sort of do it. Yeah, I think we're winning. It's safe to say it's swung back to about a 50-50 now. Just looking at how many men we've lost, it's only a couple percent, you'd think. So what I'll do is I'll just allow the last of my skirmishes to finish off their ammunition. There's my alarm going off for my washing. The washing machine is done. Sorry to break your immersion. That's annoying. Sorry. Alright, where were we? We've nearly out of that ammunition, right. The one end, turn the damn alarm off. Okay, well, what I'll do, now that these guys are out of ammunition, we'll pull them back slightly. They don't need to be up there. And I guess we'll go further forward. So we'll go to about like here. Try and pin down as many of them as we can. And that should be enough to allow my 3 to attack their 2 on the flanks. So go something like that. Would be ideal. And we'll chuck the general further in as well. Okay. Wow. So an actual offensive fight that doesn't turn into a defensive for once. We actually have to go for them. They're holding the line quite well. So they will have some skirmishes and some initial peeler, which will be annoying. Oh, that's a decent volley. Oh, wow. We've probably lost 4 or 5% on that. And it looks like they want to charge. Okay, so we're going to have to hold. I'm just going to drop hold. Hold! If they're going to charge, don't get caught in transition. Oh, damn you. Okay, we'll flank with the skirmishers. Draw your sword short. Your short swords. That might work to my advantage, though. Okay. So, it is not the... They actually played me there. That's actually quite smart. This is a good fight against the Dacians. Probably tactically, the barbarians are outsmarting me a bit. So, what's annoyed me there is that I didn't get enough time to make a strong, long front line. It wasn't like bang, smack, straight, flush. There's a lot of gaps in this wall. But it seems that like a lot of their weaker units are in the center for whatever reason, are getting pulled back. So look at this. Look how disjointed it is. It's a bit of a janky front line. Like there's holes and heaps of pockets in it, which can be bad for us. They actually caught us as well on those flanking units. But for whatever reason, they actually buckled when they charged. I guess they used their better quality units trying to get the initial front. Oh, they're in a full retreat. Oh, actually, to be fair, I know what it is. I just figured it. I was like, oh, maybe they're weaker units that charged on in. They don't have a general. They charged on in. They've taken a few losses, and the general's not there. So they're going, oh, stuff this. They're running off. Oh, okay. So I think Dacia did everything right there, except for moving that general up and losing that. They might have been able to gain victory, because now we're just going to overlap them around the flanks. Or some are holding here, as we tend to do that. Maybe that's the better quality units that we've found. That's why I wanted to play against Dacia. I knew it was going to be a good fight. Those other neighbouring barbarian kingdoms that are probably, I don't know, they're cousins or close, sort of ethnically tied to them. Maybe some of them are Celts, but whatever. The Dacian actually is a major faction, so they've got a lot of fantastic units. Bit of an underrated barbarian faction. Dacia. Transylvania. Or Romania, wherever this is. Modern day. Oh, we're actually breaking there? I was going to say, just looking at those Perioikoi pikes, are a little bit under the kibosh, some of them. They're into the red zone. The danger zone. But anyway, once we destroy this full stack, we should be able to push into Dacia with impunity. And that frees up these 4 full stacks. So we'll head them over. We'll let them head over to Illyria, convalesce for a bit, and then we'll try and attack in northern Italia. Okay, those skirmishers have made their way around, which is brilliant. And there's only a couple more units here. Yeah, so now it's swung back to 70% in my favour. Okay, got a little bit hairy, got a little bit tough. The Spartans looked a little bit green around the gills in Dacia. Nearly as green and sickly as the grass below us. We were fine. Alrighty. There's about to be a battle here in the forest. We've got some barbarians versing some Dacians. Brothers versus brothers in the thick forest here. And they're both going at it big time. Oh, here we go. Whoa! Big kick in the slit. He just got smacked to the ground. That guy's got a hammer. He's dead. Just falls over, passes out. Man, imagine being given the short straw and getting a hammer when everyone else has a pointy stick, a sharp sword. So what I'll do is I'll quickly give out some attack orders, because we want to try and run down as many of these guys as possible, because they're probably going to run again, which is annoying. And I feel like we've used a lot of our movement, so the last thing I want is for those just small units to come back in range of sight of the settlement to make the order resolve harder for us. So we'll just try and run them down. Good little fight. Kind of underrated. I just knew it'd be a good one to fight against Dacia. Like, stuff all those other guys. Close victory in the end. So, Demeter. I think Demeter is either Leonidas or it's Areius' biological son. I can't remember. Anyway, he deployed 4,000. Lost 1,322, which is quite a bit. We lost a lot more forces when we decided to push up. We were doing quite well otherwise. And they deployed 4,900, so it was nearly a 10,000 man battle. They lost 2,800 on the battlefield. Looking at the casualties sustained and inflicted, the archers did the best. The slingers, yeah, they did about what I expect, a little bit underrated. But the swordsmen really pulled through. 209, 3-2. The Perioikoi pikes, who were charged to hold push up, lost quite a bit. Yeah, but it's their heavy cavalry. And they've got some two-handed sort of thorax units, probably inspired from the Odrysian kingdom to the south. Those two-handed warriors can be quite annoying. One more such victory, and we shall be undone. Okay. Pyrrhus fighting in Rome. Hopefully we can take some of his tactics. Not some of his results, I guess. And it might actually be a poignant point of attack pushing over from Epirus. But a close victory. Let's get rid of those captives. And they are going to run away. Thankfully they're not going to run towards the settlement. We'll give chase just to get rid of them completely, because I reckon we'll be able to destroy the faction. I don't reckon they've got any other armies hanging about, unless they've got one in the sea. You never know. We'll head back and we'll have a look now. So, still not favoured to win in the order resolve. Crikey. Well, I guess... yeah, so we actually can't win. I guess we have to end the turn. We'll move that other army in. They could very well attack us during the end turn phase, and we'll auto resolve it. And then Dacia will fall. Alright, back down in Axum. I've got 3 full stacks. We're probably going to be able to push over. They've got 2, which is interesting. But we do have probably better armies than them. We'll trespass for now, because I want to target this army just on the outskirts. The city and walls aren't too built up, so we should be able to go straight on in. So, we'll declare war upon Axum. They're going to stand and fight. We've already fought against the Ethiopians and a couple of these African tribes to the south, so we don't want to repeat the same ground we sort of treaded. So, that army's gone, and we might be able to just take Axum, you know what I'm saying? We'll get my spy to maybe poison the supplies. Yeah, look at this. There's like nothing in Axum for whatever reason. Why's that? I wonder. Maybe they got attacked by someone else. Oh, so now we can have 18 armies. We've got 16 at the moment. My Imperium's shot up. We might actually be worth to get some more champions in and some more spies, because we're going to have to bring everyone over. Navies wise, we could build up a navy for the war against Rome as well, to be honest. It's probably not a bad idea. You'd think they'd probably dominate us. Yeah, that's the only thing. Anyway, we'll deal with Axum. We'll just try and run them down here, but we've got them on the ropes. I'm just sort of thinking of the navy. Yeah, that actually might be a problem. Because I reckon, regardless of how many ships we bring, Rome's probably going to have naval supremacy. They've got Rome, Ostia, the port city, Carthage. But to be fair, we have Rhodes, Athens, and Macedon to draw from. So, anyway, now our southern African provinces are secure, you'd think. So, we'll just run down this last Axum force. Oh god, they're going to make me chase them into the bloody desert, are they? Okay, Leonidas can run around. Gotta give it to Leo. He's done quite well fighting down here, and now the entire province of Ethiopia and the gold is ours. Alright, back up in Dacia. Let's finish this off. I've moved that 4th army in. Hopefully they can give us a better quality auto-resolve than what it was before. They didn't attack us during the end turn phase, and unfortunately, but it has. And that's it. Dacia has been fully conquered and converted to the Spartan Empire. Hoorah! Okay, so let's get some food in. Right, so Rome during the end turn phase have actually offered me a military alliance. I'm going to accept this because we're going to be able to keep that military access pack and betray them. Okay, so I've started the process already. We're slowly but surely moving westward. No, I don't want a defensive pact. Okay, I've sent a ship all the way to Britannia. I send a spare general because there was basically Britain, northern France, and pushing into Scandinavia. We haven't actually found these factions, so we're going to be able to get a bunch of trade. We did lose a decent amount of trade from the Armenians and the Seleucids that we built up over years, like the tariff. Alrighty, so I've skipped a fair bit ahead, guys. It is now 239 BC because I wanted to end this episode exactly where I'm going to be starting the next episode. Stay tuned for episode 15 coming out soon. We're going to go to war with the Romans. So, we've got 2 full stacks currently in southern Italy. They've got 2. They've got 3 full stacks in Beneventum. We've got 3. So, I think we're going to trade quite hard. I don't know if we're even going to be able to win this war against the Romans. King Arius is currently at Sparta with Spartan thorax, fantastic units, the best of what Sparta has to offer. It took me quite a long time to get to this position. We've basically bordering all of their territories in Italy, and we've got another 2 up here. We've got 18 in operation, so that's our forces in Italy. We do have a fair few navies now as well, 2 down in Sicily, and then we've got the rest of our armies in North Africa. 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and another 2 further south as well. So it's going to be a super close war. Hopefully we can do it. Check this out. King Arius, we've only had 1 faction leader this series, and the dude's 72. We've got another army here, navy here in Massalia. So we're currently looking. We have about 18 armies. They have around about 10 or 12, from what I can see. The navies are sort of drawn, but the problem is as well, they've actually got some armies that have pushed over into Greece, which is quite funny, because a lot of Greek and Roman wars have actually happened in Greece, so there's going to be some conflicts over there. So, unfortunately, on that note, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching episode 14. Stay tuned for episode 15, where the war with Rome begins, and we're going to spend all the next episodes. We're going to probably have to play nearly every single battle against the Romans, especially their open field battles, because we're not going to win in auto resolves, quite frankly, unless we do. The sword versus the spear. The Romans versus the Spartans is about to kick off in episode 15, coming out soon, so I can't wait to start it. I don't know if we're going to be able to pull it off. Have I done enough? Do I have enough Eastern territory to win against the might of Rome? Hopefully we can do it. Stay tuned for that video coming out soon, and we're going to have a bunch of episodes against the Romans. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. Alright, take care, boys. I'm going to play the outro now. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you'd like to stay connected with me. Let me know feedback and suggestions for the video. Gotta say a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tal, Liam B, Kyle P, Tom C, and Wyatt P. So thanks, guys. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. Goodbye.